Just a quick tutorial about how to set your notifications in Basecamp so that you get the messages that you need when you need them or when you want them, and you can ignore other things as well. So here we are at our Basecamp home screen. Yours will look a little bit different because you won't have this Vista High School HQ, but you will have either the period 2, period 4, or period 6. I have, again, some additional sets, either teams or projects. And if you've created any for yourself, you'll have those as well. But basically, here's what I want to point out. Up here in the right-hand corner, you will see either an icon, or if you've uploaded yourself a picture, it might just be a color. I'm not sure what it'll be, but it represents you. And if you just click on it, this purple box opens up and it says notifications on. And if, for example, you were going to be on your computer, but you didn't want any notifications to come for, say, the next 3 hours, you could snooze them, kind of like you snooze an alarm clock. You could turn notifications off completely, although I do not recommend that. But here's what I want to point out. Let's click on Change Notification Settings. Okay, so now we have this notification settings screen where we can make some alterations. So the first is the what. What do you want to be notified about? So notify me about everything is what I have. I would recommend you keep that because otherwise you're only getting them when someone pings or mentions you. So, I mean, that's okay. What this means is if I post something to the message board, like those class level announcements that I make about DPUs or other things, if you have this notify me about everything, then you're going to go ahead and get those messages. Here's the downside to having notify me about everything. You're also going to get notifications when other people post. So for example, if the site, the Vista PLA site is down as it is right now, and people start posting their DPUs here, you'll get notices to that because where they're posting them here on Basecamp is to a place where the entire group or the entire period gets notified. So that's the downside to notify me about everything. But if you only choose the option when someone pings or mentions you, you're going to miss certain announcements. Now, that doesn't mean they won't be available to you. You can always come back to the home screen, okay, and you can click into your period and you can click on the message board and you'll see those messages, but they just won't show up as a notice right up here with a little orange dot that says, hey, you missed something. Okay, so that's something to be aware of. I choose everything, but you can choose the other if you like. How? Okay, this is pretty important, I think. Like, I would not recommend, unless you are an avid email user, don't click on send email notifications. They're just gonna end up as emails in your inbox that you never read. So if you're not gonna read them, just uncheck that. Pop-up notifications on my computer when Basecamp is open, definitely something you want to have there. You also want to check show the number of unread items. That's here, okay? If there are pings or just general group messages or campfire discussions, they should show up there. And I'm not sure why there's not a number in there, but anyway, that's fine. But you definitely want that. If you have your device set up, it'll show up here as well. And again, I do recommend that because that's where you spend the bulk of your online life. So having those notifications there would be useful in my opinion. But at least those middle two, the pop-up notifications and show the number of unread items, I think is useful because then not only will you get the messages, but if for some reason you miss this notification, when you come to your Basecamp screen, you'll see that, hey, I've missed some things and it'll show up there. When? Okay, so this is particularly useful, I think. I have chosen to make it every single day of the week, including weekends, from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Outside of those hours, so after 7 p.m. and before 6 a.m., I'm not going to get any notifications. I'm not typically online outside those hours. Well, maybe after 7, but I don't want anything to wake me up, certainly. So I've turned them off after that. If you want notifications at any point, then of course you'd click always 24/7, no matter what. I don't recommend that. But if you don't want to be bothered by this kind of stuff on the weekend, you can turn them off by unchecking Saturday and Sunday. You will not get notifications on these days. If you want this to only happen between school hours, 7:30 a.m., 2:30 p.m., that's fine. Again, keep in mind that the whole goal here for me is to use this as a communication tool. So I do recommend that you keep it on to some extent, but totally your choice here. Okay, as long as you recognize and you understand that I am using this tool to communicate with you, and it is my expectation that you are accessing this on a regular basis, daily, you'll be fine. Okay, catch me up if anything happened after hours, so you'll get some notification in the morning. Like once 6 a.m. rolls around, I'll get a quick notification that says, "Hey, here's what happened while you were away." So that's all there is. You would just click Save My Settings, and that's all there is to it. Thanks.